Casino, Culture 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 Casino. CultureCasino, oh, CultureCasino, 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 oh, CultureCasino, CultureCasino,
CultureCasino. Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday, March 29th. We're almost out of this month. Reminds me I've got a lot of things to get done today, including a member stream. For those of you who have a green name, you are invited. It's going to be private. I'm going to send out the link to you. If you haven't seen it already, it should be in your alerts. And I will have that up and ready. It'll start in just a few moments after we end this stream. For those of you who are not members, you are going to be automatically redirected over to Assaulting Nerd Podcast, where my friends are going to tell you their thoughts on this last week's events. And they're all smart folks, so watch out. All right, let's get the show started, shall we? Ba-bam. Hello and good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great Saturday morning. I hope your weekend is extraordinary. And you are here to talk about the crazy that is all of these corporations trying to, in addition to selling us down the river, theoretically entertain us with what? I don't know. They seem to have forgotten what entertainment is. I think you guys probably noticed that as well. And I feel a little discombobulated this morning. I was going to try to do a game stream last afternoon and evening, but got involved in just trying to reorganize some stuff computer-wise and looked for a little bit of escape myself. Not a lot to find out there, to be fair, but hey, what was I expecting? Honestly, there is story after story after story after story about Disney, and we can certainly focus on them all day. Dismal Disney is a thing. But that's not what we're going to do. We're going to cover, as many as, 8 stories possibly today in the next hour and change. So let's say hi to as many of you as we can squeeze in before we get started on that endeavor. We got Snorty here, our favorite polar bear. We got our good friend and the master of mods, the mensch of wrenches, Eric K., a good friend and a great wrench. Weatherman, I did fix the link to Rumble. I think it's good to go. Should be. Looks like it was. It says I am live over there. Am I not live over there? It's quite possible I'm not live over there. My content looks like I am live. It looks like I'm live. And it also looks like I'm blown out. Holy cow. Do I look like that on YouTube as well? I'll look like that on this side. What is all this red? It looks like it. Holy cow. I'm not that red. I do not know what's going on. I am oversaturated like crazy. I wonder what that is. Hang on a second. Let's see if we can fix that. I don't know. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. I'm having no end of trouble recently. I don't know what that is about. Maybe it's the HDR messing with things. I haven't seen this problem before. And I have no way to fix it. So, yay, team. All right. So, all right. Well, strike 2 against silliness. Well, hopefully you can tolerate me in oversaturated form. Sorry about that. Let's see. We got Jill Powers in the house. Good to see you, Jill. And of course, many other folks hanging out over there. Tom F is joining us today. Thank you, Tom. And yeah, Jan Monroe's in the house. We got Morgan King out there. Hope you're doing well, Morgan. And the lovely Jillian N, who is incredibly generous and did something crazy generous, as she often does in the chat. She gifts 10 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you, Jillian. You are truly amazing. Of course, she's Jillian H now. It's been updated. She has reasons, and they're good ones. I'm still happy for you. Anytime you can change your name and put a ring on it, it's a celebration for everybody. But thanks for being here. We got Carl Singh out there. We got a few more folks rolling in the door, and a lot of people just got green. That's so cool. Hopefully, we'll boil this down to something different when we change screens here. But I do not know why I am overblown. I do not like it. Jan Monroe's in the house. Good to see you, Jan. And a few other folks like Kit Kat with a Kit Kat. We got Walter Tomaszewski hanging out with us. We got a whole bunch of people over on the Green Machine. We got Weatherman gifting a Culture Casino membership to Channel Surf over on the Green Machine. Welcome to all my Rumble friends. Virtual Sky Studios. Look at this. Look at this. We got, I think Jaco's out there. John Yulden is in the house from across the pond. The lovely Sherry. She's amazing. And we, the North. Morning, y'all. Morning to you. Morning. We got Swift -1, otherwise known as the amazing Matt G. A wonderful wrench and supporter from the very beginning for me. Mark is here. What's up, Mark Lurseth? Good to see you, my friend. And yeah, wow. We got some old school folks in the house. Got Snakes here. What's up, Snakes? Gollum. What's up, Gollum, over on the Green Machine? Good to see you. Let's see who else popped in. Eldrick Lord Haster, good to see you. Holy cow. We've seen you weekend after weekend. Our good friend Juliet's here. JPS is out there. Hello. And ASCI, otherwise known as ASCII, back in the day. Good morning. Davina Duckworth. Oh my gosh, it's a rundown. And of course, Staccato DDS. Hello and good morning, sir. I hope you are doing well. Man, let's see. Mark Daly's checking in today. Another laid back Saturday. Hey, that's the plan. That is the plan. Popcorn Power. We got Brian Mack. Hello. And C. Morton out there. Good morning to you, C. Morton. John Coman, how you doing, my friend? I hope today is glorious for you. I hope you are well in mind, body, and spirit. Commander Ed Straker of Shadow. If you're recovering well in the rehab center, we got Low Spec Linux Gaming and 11 Alpha checking in with us today. Amelia! What's going on, Amelia? And so many more. Nearsighted Cyclops. It's been a minute, my friend. I hope you're good. We got Frank. Look at this. I could go on for a day. You guys are just crushing it in the chat. Do me a small favor. Hit the like button while you're here. It automatically helps the logarithm. And we got to defeat the logarithm, guys. It's ROI. Good morning. Jason Webster's out there. That naming of the cast for the Avengers film must be the longest stream containing empty chairs in the history of American film. Yes. The most boring moments of media, all 5 and, what is it, 4.5, 5.5 hours of it? It's ridiculous. I do not know why I'm so red. We're going to change scenes. Maybe that'll change things. We're going to start with our first story. For those of you that I didn't get to, I'm sorry, but let's take a look at the news screen and talk about our first subject. We've got, I don't know what's going on with this video. This is crazy sauce. Nope, still overblown. I guess I'm just going to be red today. Sorry about that. Don't know. I'm Robin Leach, and I don't know why. I look fine. On my side. That's so crazy. Got to be something. Gotta be something. All right. Video fidelity is a stinker, is what you're saying. All right. But anyway, Disney World drastically cuts prices for spring and summer discounts. They still are going to have the normal ones that they have seasonally in California and Disneyland. But here, they're worried about market share. Look, I've been saying this for almost 2 years now. Disney's going to lose considerable market share. And when I say considerable, I'm talking 25 to 30%, maybe more. The bigger problem Disney has is they don't have anything new and interesting. And their idea of a new land is two rides, two attractions, whereas entire theme parks are being built over at Universal. They tend to add at least one attraction a year. They are swapping out Rip Ride Rocket right now for something that I think everybody will enjoy in the very near future. I don't understand what Disney's aversion is to increasing their literal or actual capacity. I don't understand. That's nonsensical to me. They needed a fifth gate. They needed to start planning and working on and actually probably constructing a fifth gate all the way back in 2013. The argument back then was, well, they don't have a capacity problem. Well, actually they did. They had so much of a capacity problem, especially in Magic Kingdom itself. Well, they have plenty of area to build outward. That capacity problem was solved by them at that time. I'm not sure what just happened to the camera. Probably something crazy. But at that time, which they expanded the hub. They took out the shade. They took out the enjoyment. They took out the trees, and they replaced it with artificial cancer-causing grass. The hub had open space so that people could view the projection show, so that they could save money on fireworks. Disney has done nothing but go backwards over the course of the last 2 decades under Iger's leadership. And this is just another example, not being prepared for the competition. So, why are they doing this? Because of Epic Universe. So, according to the article here, and this is from our good friends over at That Park Place, Walt Disney World's latest round of special discounts and promotions for spring through fall. The House of Mouse is feeling pressure from down the street. Typically cautious with discounting strategies, Disney World's announcement of a deeply discounted 3-park magic ticket is starting at $89 a day. That's extraordinarily discounted for Disney right now. They want you to spend per person per day $300 or more, especially since they want you to also participate in their exorbitant extra bonus ticket thing. I think that's called Lightning Lane or whatever it is. It's complete garbage. It's the pay along version of Fast Pass. And in all honesty, had they just returned to Legacy Fast Pass, I think everybody would have been excited. But you're looking at all kinds of things, including 50% cuts for children's tickets, slashed hotel cuts, and the most telling of all, the dining plan. The dining plan at Disney is always rolled out and offered in special to travel agents to promote, to basically bring in more guests at a time when they are expecting low attendance. In fact, after the events of September 11th, way back when, in order to bring in guests, they've had basically dining plan for the better part of a year and a half, 2 years in place for basically all visits if you bought primarily through a travel agents, but also you could get it yourself if you booked it yourself on the website and you saw that you could get the additional dining plan with a full vacation and tickets and the whole nine, because they wanted you to stay on property, eat their food, not go anywhere, and give them all of your vacation money. So whenever you see dining plan thrown in with a X number of days stay and tickets, at one of their hotel resorts, they're in terrible, terrible trouble. And we're already there. And Montana Ross is the one that informed everybody, I think, first to it from, I think, a travel agency. Yeah, this is the new thing, and it's not looking good. The Nintendo aspect of Universal's Epic universe is going to be the thing that is going to draw big. But also, you have, in addition to the Harry Potter fascination that we have here in the United States, and this dark universe portal that I think everybody's going to be keen on. There's so much more to offer that's going to be brand new, and they've already started the expansion over there at Epic Universe, which means there'll be more added over the course of the next couple of years, maybe the next 5 years. And they have land, unlike, well, I guess Disney, because Disney's going to destroy things to put it in an existing footprint and remove a total attraction count. Let me tell you, Magic Kingdom is not a good place to reduce attractions, and you're going to be knocking out two of them and giving an underwhelming remodel of one in Magic Kingdom. Disney's going to be starving. But the competition is probably good for vacationers, everybody that's here. But I have to tell you, this is one of the downgrades that Disney did not need, and they know they're in trouble. So, with that being said, we got a lot of people being very generous this morning. Let's jump into it. I want to say a special thank you and a special shout out, obviously, to everybody. We had Jillian right at the beginning of the stream. Scott Westbrook dumps 5 Culture Casino memberships into the chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So very generous of you, my friend. We've got Staccato DDS with 20 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you for that, Staccato. And wow, look at all those names turn green. Today is going to be a lot of fun. We got a member stream coming up here after the show, a few moments after the show ends. And those of you that are not members will be redirected over to Salty Nerd Podcast if you're on the YouTube side. If you're on the Green Machine, I have no idea where you'll get redirected to, but I appreciate all the support from everywhere. I appreciate Weatherman with another gifted membership, and it's crazy. We got let's see. Channel Surf getting a gifted membership over on Rumble, which I got earlier, and another one from Weatherman for Victor Fontaine. So if you are on the Green Machine, you have opportunities over there. Weatherman is just reminding me that I gave 2 memberships out over there. Thank you very much, and you are amazing, Weatherman. I appreciate you. All right, let's see. We got Matt G gifting a super sticker over there, or just a dollar that I can't see over there on the YouTube. You guys are incredibly generous today. But we got to move on. I really wanted to get to this Disney story and make sure we hammered away at the fact that they know they're in trouble. We know they're in trouble. So this is going to be a hard year for Disney over there. We've got a few other things to cover, so we got to get moving on. Let's see if you guys have any thoughts on this in the chat. I don't know why the chat's. Okay. EV Mux is having a hard time today, folks. I'm very sorry about that, which is making it difficult for me on this end. Jan Monroe says, I'm not a great park person, but I want to go to Dark Universe. I hate crowds. I'm going to tell you, the Dark Universe over at Epic is going to be extraordinary. The animatronics over there are just top notch, top end, and they move more convincingly than the Disney stuff, which is hard for me to say because Disney used to be the best with animatronics. But I think I agree with Pro and a few others, Jonas, of course, in the idea that in the future, any humanoid animatronics are going to basically be like Optimus robots at this point, because that's going to be the way forward. And not only that, they're going to be able to do even more human-like performances, and that's just going to be special. Very excited about that. Yeah, with Disney discounts, Matt G hits a home run here. The quality of the quality of the discounts is discounted too. That's true. Not really the value they used to be. Hannibal Grimm, good to see you. Ronan Bunnies over here. I can't believe we're just 1 month away from Epic Universe. I know, dude. This is and dudes. That's sorry, because I want to be, put my arms around everybody. That didn't sound right, but 1 month out, and that's all we're talking about, right? With Epic Universe opening, you're going to have a lot of crazy going on for sure. Disney will know the full impact over the course of the next 5 months of their decision not to cater to the American parks, and it's going to be a bad one. They went with an international strategy, looking forward at what was going to be a global recession. That was a dumb set of decisions that were made. Again, it's Bob Iger, so if he can find a way to destroy Disney, he will. He has been. So there's that. Um, yeah, money's tight right now. Times are hard. Yeah, well, money's tight. Money's been tight for 4 years, 5 years now. 5 years of because of the global crisis. I'm going to say the word pandemic. Um, you're gonna, everybody's been hurting. Things have gotten more expensive. Money's been tight. Some people that were taken out of the workforce never went back, so they're surviving on what they've got and moving forward from there. People don't have enough money to afford the basics. That's a real thing. There was a story that ran through um, the news recently. I think it might have been on the New York Post. 70-something-year-old grandmother had to return to work because her Social Security only paid her $910 a month, and her bills exceeded that $910 a month. Probably power and water shot up for no earthly reason, other than we are trying to destroy ourselves by, well, destroying our capacity to provide and produce energy. Dumb. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Um, I do want to say that looks like we've got more people coming to the realization of reality and are trying to figure out some things. We've got Channel Surf out there saying it's really easy. Disney needs to fire all of their anti-American staff. Well, they won't have a lot of staff left other than the high quality Floridians that work in the parks there. I think California would be worse off, but hard to say. I mean, it used to be Orange County was very center right in their politics, not so much anymore. Death Angel's Shadow, Rip Ride Rocket, they're gone. Yep. That's actually going to be replaced by something better, bigger and better. So yay for that. We've got two Penny Puppet in the house for 5 Culture Casino cash. I'm re-upping my Six Flags ticks today. This year, I'm swapping out the food plan for Lightning Pass. I'm ready. Bring it on. Interesting. Rana's right. Good morning to you. And of course, he's saying that to Tina Guzman. Let's see who else showed up. We got Staccato DDS for 5 Culture Casino cash. Thank you, Staccato. Top of the generosity earlier says Disney knows that we know that they suck. That's true. You have to remember it, Staccato. You probably feel this. My home park for the majority of my lifetime was Disneyland, right? So like there wasn't like a 3-month span that went by that I didn't go to Disneyland. And then eventually DCA when they built that and what was Disneyland's parking lot. And I can't imagine going that often now. Disney's really killed their repeat business, which is insane. I love theme parks. I'm going to be going to Dollywood here pretty quick and a couple other places. I'm excited. I'm stoked. I'm pumped up. Right. So I don't think I'll ever grow up. Let's just be honest about that. At least when it comes to doing fun things like theme parks. It seems to be a tradition in my family. Even in people's elderly age, they love to go to the parks. Disney's kind of killed that. And even at Disney World, which is insane because there's so much to do there. I can't wait for Epic Universe. But anyway, back to the super chat. What's up with the shareholders though? They stuck their heads in the sand when Iger took over. I don't know. The best threshold at the top for Disney was under the previous Bob. Chapek. Chapek was better for the shareholders. He was trying to turn the boat around and get out of the wokeness before it became a national imperative. And if something is 100% wrong, there's one group of humanity that will go marching that direction, full force, full speed. I didn't realize just how how fully and completely compromised Disney was until I realized that they were following the 20% side of the equation. That's not broad appeal. You're not going to be able to appeal the biggest bunch of folks. So I don't know. Iger's not good. He hasn't been good in a long time. When he retired, it was the perfect thing. There was no way he could cloud or destroy his legacy. He needed to just let it go. But he wanted to still be a politician, and I think that's the problem. Is Bob wanted to be, that crazy communist president of the United States that would lead us down to disaster. Instead, it was going to go from Biden to somebody else that spoke in word salad. Wild, wild stuff. Anyway, Lindsay is here. Good to see you, Lindsay. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. But yeah, I'm very interested in Dark Universe. I'm very interested in Nintendo. Nintendo's going to continue to expand. Pretty excited. Yeah, Tomorrow used to be okay. The problem is that he presented himself as a friend to the parks, and then of course he was in charge of one park, and then he became in charge of the parks division. The person they should have promoted was the lady they kicked out from the French park from Paris, Disney Paris. She would have been a much better parks boss, believe it or not. So I'm just a little bit frustrated. Let's say that. All right, we got to get to the next story. I got a lot of them. Sorry, the color is overblown. I'm just going to say that's not me. That's Evie Mux, and I'm not thrilled. I'm not thrilled. I will say I'm grateful to all of you and excited to meet those of you who are going to be at the Las Vegas meetup, because that's coming up here in just a few weeks. So hopefully you'll be there. Let's get to the next particular story. This one I think is fascinating because a lot of people called this guy out and said, what are you doing? This is a money losing proposition. You don't know what you're doing. And I feel like this guy plays chess while everybody else is playing checkers. His name's Elon Musk. You're probably familiar with him. You probably utilize his platform, especially if you follow me on social media. Elon Musk says his AI firm has acquired X in all-stock deal, valuing social media platform at $33 billion. Technically, it's worth $44 billion, but I'm going to tell you right now that's amazing. He paid $44 billion for it. People said it was worth like 12. Definitely, it recovered its price. It's recovering a lot of value because of the ads that they're able to run on the platform. The ad revenue is back. It's fantastic. And Ron is right, says, I'm here for the 199 and the fellowship. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate that support. William Shake Spielberg says, Buenos sábados, muchachos y muchachas. Oh, yeah. Good to see you. But yeah, so Mr. SpaceX himself, as Ronan Bunny says, is doing amazing things for humanity, space being one of them, and trying to get us extra terrestrial, so we can reside on other planets and then become self-sustaining, which I agree with. I think that's going to be the biggest challenge, and probably by the end of Elon's lifetime on Mars, we could probably get to that goal, or very, very close to it. And again, it helps because that keeps us from having something so catastrophic happening here on Earth that civilization as we know it no longer exists. Maybe even humanity is destroyed. We want to avoid those types of things, so we have to get off this planet and learn some new survival skills. I think that'll be fun. But regardless, when it comes to social media, this really does help. So the platform, formerly known as Twitter, is changing its address, but staying within Elon Musk's corporate portfolio. And yeah, he's basically putting his AI together with X, all stock deal, at $45 billion minus $12 billion in debt. The valuation of X is $33 billion and XAI $80 billion. And he created a merged entity worth $113 billion. Smart guy. He is now incredibly wealthy. I mean, he was already incredibly wealthy, but he's the winner in the clubhouse as far as a known wealth. There are families that possess far more wealth and are really trying to destroy us all. Anyway, back to that. Let's see. Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion in 2022. Probably saved liberty and humanity, at least as we know it. with his proposal to acquire the company dragging on for months and no rival offers materializing after he rebranded it to X, overhauled its operations, shrinking its staff to a fraction of its previous size, which worked out pretty well, I think. What do you guys think? And relentlessly tinkering with the algorithm and monetization models, the company lost a significant amount of value. Well, it was forced to lose value because of all the wackadoos out there. The lack of content moderation led to a number of advertising. This is such a lie. Revisionist history. Um, no, it's because of Garm, and Garm was released to. It was revealed to be what it was, which is a strategic idea of trying to break Elon and force their censorship into everything because X couldn't be controlled through the government any longer. Revelations about the X files were pretty significant and embarrassing to governments, intelligence agencies from around the globe. We're just now realizing the level of corruption around the world because of a handful of entities that were funding NGOs to circularly fund the same politicians' voices, and of course, the narrative around the world. So, um, yeah, it's fun. I think everything that we have learned in the last 2 or 3 years is all because of Elon Musk. So you may not like the guy, you may think he's crazy, you may hate his electric cars, but he literally kept you from a new kind of slavery. So you probably should be just a little bit grateful. Got to fight that Soros guy, as Easy Baked Oven says. I agree with you. I want to say thanks to Rod Thunderheart for renewing his membership. You're amazing. And I think you're right, Weatherman. And a major droid operation on Mars to make livable area for occupation by humans. I agree. I think the Optimus bots are probably that might be one thought that Elon's having is the bots basically producing a survivable planet for humanity. There seems to be a lot under the planet's surface there. I guess a lot of water retreated below the surface, which is good because it got to stay there. But restoring some kind of atmosphere there has got to be job one. So anyway, this is a lot of revisionist history in this article. But really, I brought this article together to say just another step in Elon kind of solidifying his power. And I'm going to say right now, Grok is a monster when it comes to doing and creating things and kind of being a research assistant. It's one of the best. Again, I'm going to say always be careful with AI when you utilize it for anything like that, research purposes or whatnot. Your prompts have to be very specific, and you have to tell it it's got to show you and cite sources. You'll have to call it out from time to time if something's incorrect and inconsistent. So just so you know. But no, anyway, let's see if we can get to some conversation around this and the fact that Elon seems to be making another brilliant move after another brilliant move. Our good friend WG weighs in with a 50. What's up, WG? Good to see you, buddy. Says, I will likely not make Vegas. Bummer. Anyway, please use this to buy comics, a thimble of Jack Daniel, and get him drunk. No, I will. Absolutely. And it usually takes a thimble and a half. I mean, 2 thimbles for him. It's night time. Usually goes to sleep. But I certainly will. Bartenders are challenged when it comes to filling a thimble with Jack, but I'll do my best. I will definitely live stream when he accuses me of trying to get his Lucky Charms, for sure. That's so great. I love that. All the best. All the best to you, brother. Thank you so much. Man, you're great. I appreciate you. Holy cow. That's extraordinary. What a day, you guys. What a day. I'm so pumped. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. Very excited. Man, good stuff. Let's see. Yeah, and that's the thing. Grok literally makes stuff up. And that's what I'm saying. When you're building a prompt, tell it can't, and then help it. But it's really important for it. First of all, it points to all the places that it sources, but it'll be manipulative, just like all AI. Chat GPT is especially manipulative, especially since the rails that are around it are socialist and communist by nature. Neo-Marxist probably is more accurate. Um, in as much as it'll say very positive things about the extraordinary leftists that have led us down a very bad path for a long time, um, and will obviously refrain from saying anything positive about the other side. That's a real issue. But regardless, setting all that aside, the political bias, let's talk more about the fact that if you give it the right prompt, you will avoid being lied to. So um, I've worked out a series of prompts to kind of get me to where I need before I ask for research. And then, of course, obviously, if it's lying, when I'm looking for the sources, I go through the source material. If it's lying, you can tell. But I think I've accomplished or overcome that in a couple of the things that I've been working in. So it's helpful, especially when researching stories. Contra Mortem says sustainability is a double speak for a dystopia where everything is controlled and only the rich will have kids and families. Yep. Yeah. Yep. The apocalyptic movies that they love to present to you, and art is something they dream of having, not dream of preventing. So you just need to be aware. Roll Tide, Keely Chow. Good to see you. Ronan says, I won't be going to Vegas anytime soon, but I will tune in for CinemaCon announcements. Hopefully, we finally get that teaser trailer for Zootopia 2. I think you'll be seeing that soon enough. Disney's going to try to get on a roll through its animation again, and I hope they are successful. I mean, it's better when Disney is based and something that 80% can enjoy. So there's that, because the 20% aren't going to go at all anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That service doc says Google AI has given responses on roosters laying eggs. I have it saved and used to show why not to blindly trust AI readouts. Yeah, no, I would suggest don't. But like I said, I think Grok is coming around to some pretty good things, and I like the idea that people are calling the AI on its bologna sausage. Wow, what a concept. Tracking your sources and reading. Yeah, I think it's important. Look, if you want to be credible and retain your credibility, you have to do that. It keeps one from everybody gets fooled from time to time. There are posts on X, obviously, that are often called out later by community notes and cited sources and everything. But at the same time, sometimes community notes is wrong too and misleading. So got to be careful. Always follow through on everything if you're really genuinely interested in it. Otherwise, set it aside and ignore it. But like I said, you've got to be very careful about what you use and why and when. Dark Hierophant, good to see you this morning. Yeah, we gotta keep cooking. We got more stuff to get to, and I've got abbreviated time this morning because we got to get ready for the member chat. I'm going to be recording some videos later today, and tonight I will be streaming Dumb Game. I mean, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Mark Daly is out in the house. I think I said hi to him a couple times. Cynthia's here this morning. Good to see you. I was beginning to soften in my I don't need or want Twitter X stance, but it being just another meta, a way of hoovering up data by being 100% joined at the hip to XAI pushes me back to the nope. I understand that and that perspective. I'll just say that I like the fact that it will learn faster and get more accurate information and data. What I appreciate about it is you get real-time internet updates up through the day. So when I go at Grok, if I'm looking for something in particular, by the way, better than using Google search. Grok for search is better than using Google. It's just the way it is because of how Google plays favorites with its own websites and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Google's destroyed it. Our good friend Mark Fields is in the house. He's always wishing us positive vibes. Celebrates 4 months and says, positive vibes to you all. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it, my friend. Thanks for being here as always. We appreciate you. WG goes big for 10 Culture Casino memberships. My goodness, WG. Thank you, my friend. I'm really going to miss you in Vegas now, apparently. I will definitely film Thumbelina having some Jack Daniels. I mean, comics division. That would be fun. Da-da-da-da-da. In order to save humanity, we must get rid of humanity. Yeah, that's AI logic. It is, and that's a problem. It's the same thing. In fact, you can actually play that mission in through a DLC in Fallout 4 because the compromised robo brains that they install are from criminally insane people. It doesn't have to be criminally insane, but that was the narrative in the Fallout 4 thing. I forget what that was called. But that was an interesting expansion in Fallout 4. Rod Thunderheart has said it before. They want a culture war, people fighting each other in order to prevent a class war. Yeah, they're like I said. I don't think they're going to be able to masquerade and mask anymore. The more Doge uncovers, and especially that panel of Doge folks the other day, they've got some real controversy to fight. Because people are little pissed, a little pissed. What's up, Nick the Greek? Good to see you. And yeah, I do not know what the overblown color is this morning. That's so frustrating. Um, can't wait for the T800s. I don't think I'm in that park with you there, Death Angel Shadow. I want a different one. Yeah, the Mechanist. Thank you. Askies in the house. You are 100% right. The Mechanist. That's what that was. Brave New World is what they want. I don't want that. And I don't think anybody else does. All right, let's get to the next story. We've got more to cover today. But the reason you're here is because the MCU is over. It's over. Truly. Oh, I've got a special commercial coming up after the story. So everybody remind me. Special commercial. Yeah. It's it's a little self-serving, but yeah, I had somebody volunteer to make a commercial for me. I think you're going to enjoy it, but I think you're not going to enjoy sitting through 5.5 hours of chairs. Game of chairs was what we were subjected to with the MCU. Incredibly frustrating. 5 hours and 26 actors, and they're not done yet. Marvel's exhausting Avengers reveal spells doomsday for the MCU. This take is solid, and I agree with it. We'll get into why. But first, we'll interrupt this for this. We've got a super duper chat from Cyrano 2960. Good to see you, Cyrano. It's been a minute. I hope you're all right. Sorry I haven't been around much. Duty calls. Well, important to do your duty. Just wanted to say howdy to all my fellow cultureinos. Be safe and wear clean underwear. Thank you, my friend, and thank you for the 20 Culture Casino Cash. We appreciate that. And, you know, I will not gamble that in Vegas. Chances are I'll just buy groceries. I like to cook and eat when I travel. I know that seems weird, but I enjoy that. Some people don't do that. I do. I like it. I like it a lot. But 5 hours, 26 actors. Yes, this is the doom of the MCU. I think they lost it. They lost the plot. They're done. They're over. A lot of my friends and compatriots, fellow YouTubers, whatever you want to call us, colleagues, we're done. This is one of those things where you go, did people really watch 5.5 hours of chairs and star introductions and recap stuff and everything else? Yeah. All to get to Robert Downey Jr. Putting Pedro Pascal in a position to, you know, be somewhat of an authority in the Marvel universe, that's bad. I think that's going to go very badly for Disney. That actor's starting to get more and more pushback from the audience. It's pretty dumb. They need to stop that. Thank you, Rod Thunderheart, for a Canadian $2, saying they sure invited a lot of empty chairs. Yeah, and kind of isn't it symbolic? Like they're saying, hey, we're this next set of Avengers films are a bunch of empty suits. We are devoid of substance. We're giving you a vast empty. Yes, you are. And at 5.5 hours, maybe that's the length of the two movies put together. I think probably so. I don't want this. I really don't. And I really don't like the storyline that they're following. Trying to replace one world with the other? That's a little on the nose, you neo Marxist crazies. Regardless, it was bizarre. There was nothing in it. 26 actors and via a camera, slowly rolling past a line of folding director chairs or studio chairs, whatever you want to call them. It's bad. I don't care that we're getting Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen back and Kelsey Grammer. Don't care. Alan Cumming, don't care. Rebecca Romaine, I care a little bit. James Marsden, sure. But none of the things that were going to hit big were there. This is a set, and I've said this before in print and in verbally. These are Z-list characters with C-list actors playing them. You are going to get every reject from the comic universe in this film. And in something that I actually believe, because it came out of that Park Place, you need She-Hulk. They're taking every single reject and can't sell on Disney minus character and shoving them in there. People are actually begging for Brie Larson to show up in this movie as Captain Marvel. That's how bad it is. Now, look, as I said yesterday when I was talking a little bit about Brie Larson, I want to be more kind to her because, well, I think she might have been helped into that particular character portrayal by the direction and the directors of the projects she was in. Permanent chip on your shoulder. There's that. Yeah, they're trying to say, Dark Hierophant's pointing out, they're trying to say that there were 245 million views on that. No, there are people going in and out of 5.5 hours of boredom. And once you figured out the pattern that it was going to be X number of minutes between chairs, you could dip out and do something more important with your day. Everybody's tired of Pedro. Hey, Sin's in the house. Good to see you. Larry. The name's so nice you say it twice. Larry says, don't wanna. I don't want it either. Want anything they're doing. Tina Beebe says, I was cracking up when one YouTuber I like said the promo was a great move. He said, we quit talking about Zegler. I didn't. I was talking about both moves being asinine. You know what, Tina? You're right. They were. It's dumb. Very, very dumb. Scott Summers, how bizarre, or should I say, how bizarre is it? It's pretty bizarre. That song is now stuck in my head. Thank you. How bizarre. Mark Daly says for 10 Culture Casino cash, RIP, a Marvel Cinematic Universe. Pour one out for Earth's mightiest heroes. Yeah. And for, anything entertaining coming out of Marvel. Brilliant from Iron Man to Endgame, but brought down by wokeness and shoddy filmmaking. Yeah. And terrible ideas and terrible characters. We've entered the terrible character generation. Nick said it. I bet he did. Larry. MCU creates empty seats. They did. And thanks once again, Mark Taylor, for the $10 super chat. Judicon. What's going on, Judicon? They listed way too many characters. They cannot possibly do something cool. Well, as I was mentioned earlier in the chat, they won't have time to develop characters, and they have underdeveloped, undercooked, underbaked, lack of interest characters already as it is. I do not want the new Avengers. I do not want shiny and bright, neo-Marxist kindness Avengers. Okay? We're going to get Megan twerking in this. I don't know. All I know is I feel like that WDW Pro is right and that they're actually hiding uh, Tatiana's Vaslani, whatever her name is. They're actually hiding her. They're hiding She-Hulk from you, from us, because she's polarizing in a very bad way. They realize they have girl bossed themselves into the sun with the characters that they wanted to have as leaders. Remember, Captain Marvel was supposed to be the new leader of the Avengers. How's that working out? Good? Oh. Our raid specialist says Smokey and the Bandit with Pedro Pascal and Zendaya. 2026. Yeah, nobody wants that film. Man. Tax Cut says Love Bizarre. Sheila E. is stuck in my head. There you go. The MCU Earth's heroes, Nick. Taika Waititi. Yeah. Man, what a downgrade for humanity. Brie Larson is doing a stage show in what? London at the moment. Really? After that, her next project is a TV series, which is currently in pre-production. Wow. Yeah, good for her. Staccato DDS for 2. Culture Casino Cash, 77% drop from Friday to Friday from Snow Blanca. Yeah, we're going to get to that, I promise. Snow White is on the plate for discussion today. Thank you, Staccato. And everybody else. We've got so many great people in the chat. Rod Thunderheart with his member chat says, you're absolutely right. Script Doctor recommended Grok. It works. It's a great research tool, but you have to program it. You have to prompt it into not giving you bologna sausage. Because it will. It'll feed you a steady stream of bologna sausage if you let it. But yeah, I tell you what, Chat GPT's worse. Making stuff up. Hey, Dengar Renegade. Culture, do you think if enough people, including Disney shill fans, complain, they would leave Rivers of America alone? I do, actually. If you're back to the parks real quick. I think now with the pushback around Tiana and the fact that it is not a well-consumed ride, let's say, unless other attractions are down, by the way, and the fact that it's a fallen apart mess. If they were trying to prevent maintenance, they did the wrong thing. But they destroyed a piece of American history in two different locations, and Japan is trying to protect American history. And Splash Mountain, OLC is like, no, we still don't want this, Disney. This is complete crap. It's a vastly superior attraction. Set that aside. But I think they've already failed with fans. Why are we pushing forth another failure? And if you want to build this, dirt track experience craptasticness, you can do it elsewhere. They have so much land in Florida and plenty of places to build maintenance facilities or any of the other crap they're going to claim. Oh, we got to get rid of this. Yeah, no kidding. Build a new building somewhere else or closer, or modern building with modern stuff. Maybe that'll help you out with the costuming. Maybe you wouldn't shy so much from entertainment. Freaking jerks. Anyway. The artist formerly known as John Kicksack, JDLLM. I love fake stuff. Well, I don't. Yeah, this is actually a good point, Spaceship Vampire. Disney should quit pushing Tiana on everybody. Well, I mean, it's funny. Jonas and crew yesterday on the extra magic hours that we did stream pointed out that Tiana wasn't necessarily very popular in cinemas. I mean, it built its popularity, and it's I mean, now it's just Disney trying to cover up a past that didn't necessarily have a whole lot of minority characters in a time when they're trying to push neo-Marxism. So get rid of America, get rid of Critter Country, get rid of a classic, an award-winning classic that honored black actors That's dumb. Again, modern Disney does dumb things. They are the dumb. Mark Daly's correct. Disney parks are down, and they're only going downer. They're a big downer. But Disney needs park revenue to make up for Disney cinema bombing. The theaters like for excuse me, Disney cinema bombing the theaters like Dresden. They are digging a hole they might not get out of. I'd say yeah. I'd say the reason their stock prices are as stagnant as they are is because it's taking everything that they can do for the institutional investors to put money into those from your retirement. So I think Trump is going to have to get in there and go after the big institutional investment houses that are supposed to be operating in your best interest, which they clearly haven't for the better part of a decade and a half. We've got to do something. That's a conversation. If you're close to Trump or if you can leverage conversation with him, please do so. I would appreciate it. Um, Scott Summers' Stop Princess and the Frog is good. Oh, no, it is. So it's been a while since I've seen it. No, the film is fine. It just wasn't a banger at the theaters, right? I mean, here's the thing. You know what's popular based on revenue. What becomes popular. Disney is terrible at predicting things that are going to be good in the future. I mean, the Tiana makeover is one of those things. But then again, they were listening to the neo-Marxists are trying to rewrite history. They got to stop doing that. I was going to talk a little bit about Thunderbolts, but I think I'm going to skip that subject matter. I want to get to what's even more interesting is the projections for the weekend for snow beige, I guess snow beige, and the fact that whew, looks like it's going to have a rough go. What are you talking about, culture? Well, I anticipated about a $17 million weekend performance domestically for Snow White. It's possible I'm right on target because, well, let's take a look. As I yawn my face off, let's take a look. Why is this not switching? There we go. These are the numbers. The numbers don't look good. You got 100 million now. This film domestically has been out a little over a week. I mean, technically, Thursday would have been 1 week because it did have Thursday preview starting at 2 p.m. So today's Saturday. It's got $100 million domestic. International's not in yet. We'll have to see what that looks like here after the weekend. Performance is not good. Domestically, it's below the cone of sadness. Was already below sad. And then we go down to comparative weekends, right? This is $16 million Friday, which actually counts this Thursday, $3.5 million. But let me show you something. It fell 77% Friday to Friday. 3.7 million yesterday at the cinemas. 3.7 million on Friday. 4,200 theaters. Average theater performance $881. Snow White's dead. Not just a little bit dead, like completely, totally dead. Unbelievable. Wild. Wild. Look, I predicted from the start that Disney was going to have a hard time with Snow White for 1,000 different reasons, most of those being Rachel Zegler, but also because of casting her in the first place. See, I imagine a world where they had casted somebody who looked like Snow White and they made a film that was a shot for shot remake, a faithful adaptation of the original animation. But why would I? Disney went on to make a neo Marxist weird film called Wish to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Disney. That didn't work out very well. This is not going well, truly. And Snow White became the disaster I think everybody expected. Um, I think I think they're looking at the next weekend and realizing that this film may be the most embarrassing film that they've made in 2 decades. And Wish was terrible. Strange World was terrible. Lightyear was terrible. Elemental was terrible. That's just in the animation side. They had Inside Out too, which went well. How? Why? Well, because they pulled out all the neo Marxisms. They're trying to make Pixar appear family friendly again because they remade that Win or Lose series and removed all of the neo Marxist storylines from it, all the identitarian politics stories from it. It's ma'am. That's right. It is ma'am, Fallon. It's wild. Is Weatherman out of here? Good to see you, Weatherman. I'm boycotting Rachel. So later I'll have a good one. Hey, we're about done with Snow White. We're headed into the next one, Weatherman. But they don't have anything to look forward to. Because I really don't care about this Fantastic Four movie. A24's Thunderbolts is about ready to fall off of a cliff. It's going to be right at 2 hours. It's 2 hours and 6 minutes long. It's got probably 9 minutes of credits in it. So it's just a little under 2 hours of actual content. Of course, there's going to be, mid credit or end credit scenes, I imagine. I don't care anymore because I can see them, the following day on YouTube. I have no cares. And I'm not the only one. Thunderbolts is maybe exactly what Florence Pugh said. It's an A24 version of Marvel. It's not going to pull in the people or the interest. But let's jump over to the next story of the day, which I think is going to dominate the video game conversation. And that is, well, this game, which I'm going to be playing later tonight. You can see me over on that game place. Ubisoft employees fear layoffs after Tencent deal and new subsidiary formation. Why'd they form the new subsidiary? Well, I think we all know this now, and I'm going to talk at length about it in a video this week because not only are there rumors for layoffs, there's more. There's more going on. Let's take a look. So from that Park Place and Marvin himself, Thursday, Ubisoft announced it's forming a new gaming subsidiary in partnership with Chinese tech giant Tencent. I think this is disastrous, but do what you will. The new entity will house the company's most valuable franchises, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Rainbow Six, along with the select development studios. While the press release spins this as the start of a bold new chapter, internal reactions suggest the only thing bold about this move is that the level of uncertainty it has created for Ubisoft's remaining workforce, who have actually, they themselves, reinvested into the company. And if the reporting coming out of Smash JT is accurate, violated a lot of securities laws in order to do so. But this puts all of those employees in the riskiest possible circumstance and situation because a lot of them, their bonus was they reinvested their bonus into the discounted stock price that they were giving employees at a time when the stock was absolutely tanking. Smash GT reported that some of the people were down 80%. The new subsidiary, wholly owned, uh, is I think valued at $4 billion. So the Chinese stake is 1.2 billion, 1.26 billion or some such. Anyway, so according to a report from Insider Gaming, who's been getting a lot of things right lately, and we've been using them over on that Game Place Live, multiple current Ubisoft employees have expressed immediate concerns following the announcement. The fear is clear. If you are not working on one of the big three, your job could be next. I would imagine most people there are going to lose their job. They have over 18,000 employees still, and that's after closing Osaka in Japan and another one up, I think, in Canada. So, first of all, the number of game studios that are collapsing is. I always make a prediction at the beginning of the year how many studios I think are going to close, or at least the last 3 years I've been doing that, and it's always been more than I thought. We're already ahead of the pace I thought we would be with the number of studios this year. So when we cross that 10 or 12 studio closure, just know it's probably going to be worse. The economics of operating a giant AAA game studio in today's world is hard. You have to be a startup AAA studio. I know that seems weird. It's not possible. It is. Um, but you need to keep your numbers down. One of the biggest problems Bethesda has suffered from is bloat, staffing bloat. And that's because they have too many administrative functionings that happen above the devs, the people who actually do the work. Too many hands in the pot, and the talent's too thin. And they brought in a lot of people that don't have talent. That doesn't work. Regardless, we feel blank. We feel boinked if we're not in the top three. They can say these things in an email, but it does. But when it comes down to it, we feel like we know where the priorities are. Well, of course, they're in the games that people are still buying. Although you can't get a sales number, Ubisoft. That's another big story that we've been talking about in the gaming circles. We don't know how many copies of Assassin's Creed have sold because they won't tell us. They won't report sales. They say players. They say players for a reason. They're trying to obfuscate the over the top of what they actually have. If you look at Steam and you see what max 68,000. I haven't seen Steam in a little while, but if you look at how many the last 24 hours and the all-time high is, I still think it's below 70. And you can't have 3 million people playing that game or acquiring that game. They are counting, I believe, the Ubisoft Plus service players in those numbers. That's the only thing I can see. I don't know about you guys. So it's a sentiment, according to the article, that's hard to argue with the given recent history. Ubisoft has already shuttered 4 studios and initiated targeted restructurings at the 3 more subsidiaries. We've talked about it. We covered one such closure in depth. Ubisoft Mobile London, a studio that worked on Star Wars Outlaws mobile integration, was abruptly shut down earlier this year. This is a support studio, but they still need those. And at the time, it was brushed off as part of a broader strategic alignment. Now we're seeing that strategy take form, and it looks like an awful lot like a slow motion consolidation. Yeah, it is. See, they still control a lot of IPs. I just think a lot of those are going to be on the block. I'm curious if you guys think that's right. I'd like to know. Overall, I'm just watching the gaming industry, eat itself. If you follow Bellier News, despite the fact that they can be a little milk toast at times, they're paying attention to the story. I am. Hey, good morning, Mark Nichols. Good to see you, my friend. But yeah, we've got Ubisoft toast. They're done. It's over. No mas. I think that in the better part of the next 3 years, if Ubisoft still exists, it'll be as a small one game studio and lots of other pieces elsewhere. So that's what makes the most sense financially. You can't have your share price do what theirs did and expect the kind of resiliency that you need. And the Guimond brothers are just going to ride this all the way back to the depths from whence they came, because originally they were a game distributor themselves. Nothing more, nothing less. Repackager for European markets. So maybe they'll descend back to that point. Hey, Michael Krinsky's in the house. What's up, Michael? Good to see you, buddy. Hey, Dutch Butters is here. There's a gamer for you. You want to check out Salty Nerd Gaming with this guy and Alex and the good people over at Salty Nerd Podcast, which is coming up next. Got a redirect set up to you guys already. Coming up in just under an hour. NPC person says, China. Yes. That's true. Thank you, Juliet. She is correct. Our newest wrench is saying, everybody hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe. Thank you. Thank you very much. Joseph A's out there. Good to see you. Am I wrong, guys? Are you thinking Ubisoft's in good shape? I don't know. Hey, Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington in the house. Good to see you, my friend. But yeah, you think I'm wrong? I'm curious. What you got? All right, Specialist drops $2. Says FCC investigates Disney. Yeah, we may talk about that in just a minute. It's kind of breaking up my Disney news, but yeah, Disney's kind of in big is in really bad shape, and it's all everything that's happened in the last couple of years to Disney is self-inflicted. For the number one entertainment distributor or releaser of entertainment, whatever you want to call them, they sure aren't doing what they used to do. And if you look around, there's less competition in theaters. I could say that's largely because Disney was allowed to purchase Fox. I could say that it's because they subverted their expectations. I love that. They subverted their expectations because they destroyed their other streams of revenue. I mean, Tom and I were talking about that in 2020. Still talking about it today. Streaming destroyed, cannibalized every other revenue stream source. Let's just say revenue source that these media companies had, because they all wanted to be Netflix. Caveat ties. You're wrong. Ubisoft's in great shape. They don't have to make video games anymore. Okay. I don't know how that works, but okay. I do know that Larry, a name so nice you say it twice. Larry is in the chat with his member chat saying, did Sweet Baby Inc. infect Ubisoft or Sarkeesian? I think a combination of both. You have to remember the Guillemonts were in big, big trouble because they were getting basically the video game equivalent of the Time's Up movement and the all that other stuff, the anti-Weinstein stuff, because a couple of those brothers were doing some pretty foul things, reportedly, allegedly, and were having some employees come back at them. There also were a lot of female executives fired. You can go back and look that all up. But yeah, wild things indeed. Most peculiar. Hey, what's going on? All right, we got to get back to being caught up with y'all. Imagine being CEO of the Disney and having been only been able to struggle to hide how much money you've been losing for the past 6 years. Yeah, I don't know. It's been really, really bad at a time when Disney should have stuck with the value priced option and offered more value than you could imagine. And that's what they used to have, a great value prop. Now they don't. They just don't. Speaking of things they don't have, let's jump into one of the last stories of the day. We're going to be done pretty early today, which is probably a good thing because I want to figure out what's going on with the video. Disney DEI practices under investigation by Trump appointed FCC Chairman Brendan Carr for potential EEO violations. Yeah, amongst other things. Look, sometimes when you pull a thread, nothing happens. It was just a loose thread. Sometimes when you pull a thread, you unravel the whole garment, sweater, shirt, dress, skirt. Why? Well, because one thing leads to another. And if you're the Kinks, he wrote a song about that. I think that's the Kinks. Anyway, Brendan Carr is out to balance an unbiased media through the FCC. And while that may not be what he's supposed to do, he's supposed to make these companies adhere to legal practices. DEI has been illegal since its inception. The Supreme Court basically laid down the law just a little while ago. This is more laying down of the law. Disney can't argue on this one. They just can't. They've been breaking the law. The Federal Communications Commission has officially launched an investigation into the Walt Disney Company and its ABC News unit, signaling a new phase of regulatory scrutiny over corporate diversity, equity, and inclusion. Mind you, if they find depending upon what they find there could change, and then there could bring in other regulatory agencies and scrutiny. This is a snowball, and the potential of it is massive. The probe, initiated under the leadership of the newly appointed FCC Brendan Carr, is part of a broader federal effort stemming from an executive order signed by President Trump in January. In a letter dated Friday from Carr to Disney CEO Bob Iger, the FCC informed Disney that it intends to examine whether the company's DEI initiatives comply with federal EEO regulations. That's employment opportunity regulations. Equal employment, that is. Specifically, that letter raised concerns about certain DEI policies at Disney and ABC, and now they may constitute invidious discrimination in violation of the FCC rules. Do you imagine if ABC News disappeared? How about ABC in general? How about as a broadcast entity, they had their license pulled? What would that do to Disney's value? Nothing good. We are reviewing the Federal Communications Commission letter, and we look forward to engaging with the commission to answer its questions, a Disney spokesperson told CNBC in response to that announcement. Interesting. I don't think they want any part of this. Any single words uttered by any person that's in that engagement is going to be under so much scrutiny, they're going to have massive problems. And The investigation is following a similar inquiry that was launched in February into Comcast and NBC Universal. Both actions are part of a coordinated federal push to scrutinize diversity-based corporate practices, particularly those tied to hiring, training, and internal promotions. And pay. See, they forgot the pay part because they violated how they pay people at Disney. That law, problem. Oh, by the way, if Disney were to have their FCC license pulled for ABC, imagine that they can't advertise anymore. They can't sell advertisements. They can't fulfill their obligations. You think people are going to want to jump on board of bundled ad packages that don't have broadcast television attached to it, linear television attached to it? Disney's going to have a whole pile of make goods to take care of. There's some problems here if this were to happen. And that's something I don't think a lot of people think about, but advertisement is big business for Disney. They need it. It's part of their strategy. Not being able to advertise the same or with the same effectiveness is going to cost them ad dollars. And not just the stock price. Like I said, there's a lot of reasons why your stock would drop under investigation like this. The more they find, the worse it gets. And again, if they find something, especially in the hiring practices, in compensation, training, promotions, if they find anything, which it's already there. We've seen the Reimagine Tomorrow documents. They tell you the illegal things they're doing. They're done. And then what? Now you invite more people in to take a look at it. And then if people are going to be looking at how people are being paid, their compensation, now they're looking at the books. Do you want the federal government who's looking for a reason to, help you come to reality? You think you want them in your books? You think investors want them in the books? Well, many investors would like them in their books. They want to know just how screwed they are because of these various practices. But that will be bad. This is why it's really bad to get into this kind of politics as an entertainment company, a media company. So actually, it's bad to get into it most every company. But I don't know. See, the executive order instructed the agency to identify up to 9 potential civil compliance and civil compliance investigations. It's a lot. And publicly traded, nonprofit, other entities, doesn't matter. That includes universities, government contractors, you name it. This is going to be wild. And we're just seeing the beginning of it. Interesting from the statement that Carr wrote. For decades, Disney focused on churning out box office programming successes, Carr wrote in his letter to Iger. But then something changed. Disney has now been embroiled in rounds of controversy surrounding its DEI policies. Yep. The statement stopped short of accusing the company of wrongdoing. Yeah, but it's only like a half a step away. I don't think this is going to go well. And I think Iger may be personally drawn onto the carpet since he's the one who initiated Reimagine Tomorrow and all of the crazy people he brought in to begin with. And poisoning the corporation with that garbage. Many exposés were put together and published around the Reimagine Tomorrow and Story Matters initiatives that have already been subject of a lot of independent reporting, and including one on That Park Place where, you might see me from time to time. And of course, you might see me writing over there from time to time. But yeah, that directly cited the FCC's letter to Disney, signaling the growing influence of alternative media. Because guess what? Things we do matter. I'm very proud of That Park Place and people that are over there that I get to work with. And we're going to keep pushing on with those efforts. And I just want to say I appreciate your support over there, and I really appreciate your support over here. Commander Ed Straker Shadow sent a 48-month, wow, membership super chat. I appreciate that. Stating, Cuddles, Disney Corp's uh, favorite Kinks song is Lola. Oh, that's right. Girls will be boys and boys will be girls. It's a mixed up world, but that's all because of Iger. 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 Anyway, uh, Disney Corpse. I love the way you're saying that. Soon is opening a new a Lola Land theme hotel and restaurant, chasing after their imaginary 2% customer base. They love to pander to. You are correct. There, you are not wrong. That's right. Well done, Commander Ed Striker of Shadow. Who the DOJ or who the DOJ or the FTC? I never. It never was a case of market monopolization. Disney could arguably have an upper end theme park monopoly a few years ago, hence the price rises. Yeah, no, I'm with you, except that Universal's going to kick him in the teeth. So we'll have to see. We will have to see. All right. Well, we are done with this article. And I have to run this commercial, folks. This is very important. This this is something that I would like to say a very big shout out and thank you to core member and all of the members of the meme community. You do make our lives brighter. And here we go.
Oh, the culture had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm we had a cock, E-I-E-I-O. With a cock here and a cock there. Here a cock, there a cock, everywhere a cock. Oh, the culture had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
Again, a quick thank you to core member for advertising my farm and all of my chickens. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I can't wait to actually have the farm. I think that'll be great. Uh, ABC owns 8 stations, has 242 affiliates. The 8 have FCC license that could be in jeopardy. The affiliates, it's not clear what they would do. Likely lose network programming and national news. Exactly. It's exactly, you know what? Your assessment is correct. Darth Angel Shadow. Very true. Goodness. Mark Nichols. That's all core member. I did nothing. I would love to take credit for the voice. Toback, you're trying to give me credit for that, but that is not me. I don't know who he got to do it, but they did a great job. They did a great job. Go cheer a star. Paul, Paul Corcoran. Yes. Yes. Yeah, dude, E-Rate Specialist does great stuff too. Again, I love it. That one's going to be a permanent in rotation commercial for the channel. So there you go. So you get that in your intro. There you go. Old Tobach, E-I-E-I-O. There you go. I thought that was Meghan Markle for a minute out in her fake garden. Well, there you go. There you go. But I thought people would enjoy that. Oh, you guys make me so happy. Oh, that's so fun. All right. And look, I mean, I'm a big fan of roosters. You guys know that. It's my tiki. So we got new hats coming out. I got new T-shirt. It looks amazing. The new Culture Casino T-shirt, retro T-shirt. It's very cool. And the website's coming. We're very close to having the website actually launch. It's going to be cool. Sitting on the throne. Well, I mean, sometimes. I'm just saying. Core members, genius. Everybody in the memer community is just brilliant. All right. Look, we got one last story I want to get to, and then we are going to be done early. You're going to head over to Salty Nerd Podcast, and then we will get started on the member live stream, which I may move up. Let me double check the timing on this, guys. That is scheduled for about an hour from now. We may move that up a half an hour, guys. So just a little programming note. I just want everybody to get a chance to hang out. Hey, they came to kill the rooster. That's right. Anyway, all right. Let's get to the last story, my friends. My friends. My friends. I sound like Tim Pool now. My friends. Love Timmy. Shout out to Pool. All right, let's get to this. Amazon Studios. Wow, big problems over there. They finally may have rectified a little of it. They pulled out Jennifer Salke and got rid of her role. Somebody's like, "Oh, she's leaving." I was like, "No, she was fired. She was fired." Her role was so bad. What she was doing is so terrible. They got rid of her role. Goodbye. They said this wonderful statement. They're going to flatten out the management structure. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Look, this is the bad decision-making human that allowed them to go uber woke with Lord of the Rings. How do you go uber woke with Lord of the Rings? Tolkien probably would have said, you know what? I'd rather have Disney do this to my stuff. And he hated Disney. I don't care what the shills say. This chick was fired. And you know what? She deserved it. She had nothing to do with the good shows. She had everything to do with the bad ones. She's the whole reason they got absolutely nothing out of that Waller-Bridge chick so far, despite 4 years of development. And who knows how much money they threw at her. Amazon Studios has become essentially, the US AID version, a propaganda style for, entertainment. And look, even the trades that know what I speak, that nobody ever gets fired in Hollywood except when they're fired. They don't say the word fired. She was ousted. They even use the word ouster in this headline behind Amazon MGM's Jen Salke ouster in its fallout. The fallout, there's no fallout. You just improved your company's future dramatically. She's got an unnamed, shingle she's going to hang for a production company. The worst idea yet, and this is something that actually could happen. I'm really angry at Marvin and Jonas for pointing it out. She could end up over, let's say, Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm could go out, Kathleen Kennedy say, oh, you know what? Since she's fired, let's bring her over to Disney. That's not controversial at all. They fired her for doing the woke stuff that I'm going to be leaving. So bring her in. She'll do more woke stuff. Whew. And yeah, I do believe that Bond was the thing that screwed it up for her forever. I do believe that. Having Barbara Broccoli, the steward of the Bond franchise, after Cubby passed away, and obviously Michael G. Wilson, they've seen what the identitarian politics does. It hurts you. It really hurt the Bond brand, and having such a tool bag like Daniel Craig be the face of Bond, the dress-wearing freak show that he is, yeah, I think we're done. And of course, this story starts out narratively. That's one of the things the Hollywood Reporter fancies itself as, the Penske narrative storytelling mode. But the fact that they have to tell all the story before getting rid of her. Hopkins, the guy that's over there now, was basically telling agents and talent not to worry about Salke's surprise removal. See, they actually are telling the real story. Removal is not a word that you have without fired. Sorry, I may be lashing out at that one person who is incredibly wrong. I don't know. But being on the phone with these people when there's a major studio move is common. Your phone's going to light up like Christmas. Little red and green lights going, boo, boo, boo. Your secretary's going to be like, hang on, hang on. Yeah, so you got one day of trouble. Nothing in email, preemptive email, couldn't have helped with. Maybe one of those went out too. But nobody thinks that she left on her own accord because the job doesn't exist anymore. So, Salke will no longer poison Amazon Prime. That'll be somebody else, but at least you're going to stay away from that. I really want them to do good things going forward and not do more Red One or other definitely going to be a bomb films that Salke was backing. All for neo-Marxist reasoning. DEI, et cetera, et cetera. I think the rich guy that really does still run Amazon for what it's worth, whether or not they want to admit it or not, he's kind of becoming more enlightened to the fact that this is incredibly unpopular and he's drawing attention, unfavorable attention. And I think everybody's starting to see that they went the wrong way in a way that, nobody's going to support them. And again, it comes down to money. See this Reacher guy in the middle? He's a problem. Alan Richson. Now, his production, Reacher, people have accepted, but that's not Salke. That's an acquired property. Nothing Salke touched it turned out good. Let's just put it that way. But at least let's admit she was fired. Anyway. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy, who's not really the guy that leads that company, but let's pretend, at an employee town hall last month, recording of which was leaked, told staff that he wanted to re-empower employees that were actively getting things done, not building bigger teams. And he was talking about the entire entity across Amazon and all their various sectors they participate in beyond retail. But I think that's the right strategy for a company with as much bloat as Amazon has. Instead of getting rid of free delivery and delivery drivers, they need to be getting rid of the dead weight that are basically their middle and upper leadership structures. And I think that may have been some of what he was talking about. But I think it's really funny that with Salke going out, we've decided to flatten our leadership structure a bit, not fill the head of studio's role. Fired. Anyway, that's it. Just a little ranty on the collapse of Salke and Salke's career, and maybe a little bit of shade for Amazon Prime, who is hit and miss, especially Amazon MGM Studios. They need to get Bond right. And I think everybody knows it. And I think Salke's influence on Bond was going to be a net negative, as every other thing she was involved in was a net negative. All right. Anyway, that's it for today's rant. Galvatron's in the house. We got a few folks that popped in. Good to see you. Gojira Star. So sorry, I'm typing on my phone. No, you're good. Dr. Megatron, hello. Mephisto, what's up, brother? That's always a good place to go. Check out the Real McCoy's podcast over on Mephisto's movie review channel. It's always awesome. Toby Moss says, I'm only really hyped for 28 years later. I think that'll be okay. It looks pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. Give the neo-Marxist a rest. You're embarrassing them. Oh, no. Putin's cat, don't misunderstand. I think that the James Bourne in Casino Royale with the parkour and the shaky cam, I think that was a different direction. I think it was the wrong one, but it definitely put a little more juice into Bond. Everything after that was a giant bag of puke, especially Quantum of Solace. Skyfall was okay. But again, deconstruction of a hero, that's what everything in the modern Bond became. So she wasn't fired. She quit involuntarily. Yes, snakes. Yeah, look, if KK names her successor, Star Wars is doomed forever. Easy way to fire a contracted employee and not have to pay any eliminate the position. This is well known technique to remove someone without paying out the contract. Well, she's going to get to hang her shingle and to pretend she's the next Amy Pascal. That's what she's going to get to do. On that note, I have to ask, does anybody else want me to play the commercial again before we wind it down and I go on to push forward our member stream today? Looks like Mexican Iron Man wants to weigh in, and I welcome it. I miss this guy. He needs to come hang out with us today. For 10 Culture Casino cash, breaking, a Mexican Iron Man has filed lawsuit against Culture Casino in federal court for breach of contract. Hang on. Today is day 1247 with no high roller care package received. Now any visit, nor any visit to my house. I'm going to come visit you, but I'm not going to be like Nick and stay for like weeks at a time and eat your rabbit chickens. I can't believe you let that guy just camp out at your house. He doesn't clean his guns. He broke his gun while he was there. I mean, come on, Mikey. Come on. Are you going to be with? Are you going to hang out with us, Mikey, in about half hour or so? Mikey, you going to show up, Mikey? Mikey. Mike. Good morning again. Hope you're doing well. Mr. Vader. Touch butters. By the way, Salty Nerd Podcast coming up in 30 minutes. And this stream actually redirects over there. So they'll be getting started in 27 minutes, actually, I think, or so. Nick was a great guest, great cook, though he has no idea on how to attach a suppressor to his pistol. Oh, no, really? Mikey. Anyway. Nick's a great guy. Don't miss it. I'm good friends with Nick. I can't wait to see him again. We'll see him again here soon. Very excited. He left a week ago, Mikey. He hung out at your house forever. He kept using you as an excuse not to stream. All right. Anyway, I got to get running. We're going to play the commercial one last time since Mikey's here, and then we're going to call it a day. I want to say thank you again to core member for making this happen because it's great. And then I'm going to go move the stream forward, and I will see the members that are going to join us today in about 20-some minutes. And I'll see you then. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others. And until next time, see ya. For real.
Old the culture had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a cock, E-I-E-I-O. With a cock here and a cock there. Here a cock, there a cock, everywhere a cock. Old the culture had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. to casino. Go 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 to casino. Culture Casino. Go to casino. Go to casino. Oh. Go to casino. Go to casino. Go to casino.